Hello, hello. I'm progressing once again, and I guess now we're here. I'll try to make this a Friday thing, at the very least. But no promises. Hikaru, Alize, you're back. Hmm, no Alphano. It's good to see you, Lise. As for my headstrong brother, he's off on what will almost certainly turn out to be a once-in-a-lifetime trip to Garlemald. It's a long story, but we have evidence that Xenos might still be alive. What? Sorry. I got hiccups right when I was talking. What? But that's... If this is a joke, gods, this had better be a joke. Look, I know what I saw, right? We all saw it. And here you are saying he's alive and well, and living the high life back in Garlemald. I know how ludicrous this sounds. I'm still having difficulty believing it myself. But while I might doubt the words of an Imperial envoy, I'm inclined to trust Hikaru's. She saw the Crown Prince through the Echo, in a meeting that could only have taken place in the recent past. It was him. It was Xenos. Now, it must have been. I don't know, some kind of really convincing imposter. Xenos is dead. He had a great big hole in his neck. We buried him. Aye, and some went to the trouble of desecrating the bastard's grave, remember? Dolls, gilded halls. Whatever are you talking about? Thancred, what brings you to the Reach? Alphino had me lending a hand at the Saltree, keeping an eye on the rebuilding work and so on, just until operations were up and running. And now that they are, I thought I might look in on you before wending my weary way back to the headquarters. Forgive me if I've misheard, but there's some suggestion the late Crown Prince could have gotten better. If so, might it suggest a quick look inside his coffin as our first order of business? As much as I hated the man, it doesn't feel right defiling his grave. But if it will put this rumor to rest, I suppose we have to. And when there are no curious eyes about, if we can manage it. Xenos is buried up at Bloodhowl in the locks. His grave is set apart from the others and left unmarked, so as not to upset the locals. And it shouldn't be too hard to find. Nago, you're in charge until I get back. I just have big mounts. Every mount I pull out is just like huge. It takes up half my screen, I swear. Except the cats and the dog. I swear every other mount is so big. My money is on writhing snakes, possibly spiders. Let's prise it open and see what comes out. Most of the graves are grouped together, but they managed to find a lonely spot for Xenos, didn't they? This is it. Gods, you better be in there. Someone scrawled all over the stone a while ago, but I had to scrub it. I had it scrubbed off and thought no more about it. So no one thought to check if the coffin was still occupied. Well then, we're presented with but one course of action. And we had best be sure we are not observed in doing of it. Shall we begin?
Oh dear. We seem to be missing a corpse.
Well, it must be somewhere. I only hope it isn't walking around.
We set up as if we don't know where the corpse is. It's in Garlemald. We know this. That was like the most Eustace Alizé comment I've heard. We know where it is. If there's no corpse, then are we to conclude the rumors are true? Not necessarily. We might be dealing with a doppelganger of some kind. An agent could have been sent to dispose of the body in a bid to lend credence to tales of Xenos' resurrection. More and more, however, I find myself siding with Alphino's theory of Ascian possession. Speaking from experience, I can tell you they have no qualms about taking a living host, let alone a dead one. You're saying an Ascian is walking around in Xenos' body? It seems a distinct possibility. Once I put this grave back the way we found it, I shall pay a visit to the people responsible for interring the Crown Prince. Before leaping to any conclusions, I want to make sure if a body was ever buried here, and how certain we are that Xenos was properly dead. If he wasn't, that was some trick. He as good as cut his own head off. Anyway, Raban needs to hear about this. If you find anything out, send word to me at Valgar's Reach. I don't know why I'm surprised. With matters settling down in Doma, we are due another crisis. Yeah. You need a story plot. Come on, Alizé. Shall we make for the Rising Stones then? It's past time we shared these developments with the others. Oh, how nice of her. She teleported us. While I was waiting for you to arrive, I spoke with Rionje over Link Pearl and gave him a full report. Y'shtola is on her way and should be here any... Alizé, Hikaru. It is good to see you safe and well. What news have you from the east? Disturbing developments indeed. Given all that we know, I too would conclude that Ascian now inhabits Xenos' body. A doppelganger might fool the Crown Prince's subordinates, but Hikaru... Nay, Alphino had the right of it. What that his wisdom extended to the question of his own safety. Capable though he has become, he ventures alone into the enemy's stronghold, in the shadowy web of the Paragons, like as not. When it comes to making rash decisions, I'm hardly in a position to criticize, but I'm worried. I just wish there was something I could do for him besides pray. Unfortunately, there isn't anything you can do for him, unless you went with him. Meanwhile, in the Imperial Palace. We cannot suffer icons to exist. Was I not clear on this point? More than clear. The icon in question was summarily dispatched by the Warrior of Light. The summoner is dead, and the rite is beyond repeating. Everything proceeded according to plan. Every party behaving exactly as required. My methods may seem extreme, but there's no cause for concern. I work only to ensure the salvation of this star. What are you doing fiddling with that thing? I asked you a question, soldier. What are you? Have you lost your mind? Oh, and he's dead. I have lost many things, but my mind is yet my own. There upon the stage I stood, prepared to take my final bow, only find out that the finale was but an intermission. Shall I use this chance to repent for my sins? Embrace goodness and mediocrity? Nay, I think not. While the one I yearn to face yet lives, the hunt must go on. No, there's a real Xenos. I think even my first playthrough, I figured that part out. Alphina will need all of his wits if he is to survive his visit to Garlemald. We know precious little about life in Imperial capital. Oh, Alianne is here. You need worry for my grandfather. If he should grow lonely and start to long for Homei's company, he will purchase passage on the next ship bound for the far east. I couldn't stop him if I tried. We gathered what scraps of intelligence we could. Myself from within Eorzea and Alphina from his far eastern sources. But there's a limit to what a bloke can learn about the Empire from outside its borders. Still, I never think to invite myself aboard an Imperial bloody airship. It was impulsive, reckless. You've got to admire the lad's style. Will Ilsador be alright without Homei? They're practically inseparable these days, and I don't think he has many other friends. The Domans have as much claim to Revenant's toll as you and me. They're family. Thank the gods I made it back in time to see them off. Where? Oh, there he is. It is for the best. It is. It is their past and their future. Their home. And I cannot be happier for them. I hope Isildur can find someone to keep him company. For our missions, we can never linger very long. I know I need to give Isildur my undivided attention, but these waves of brotherly love make my mind drift to naughty places. Focus, Aenor, focus. Gosh, she is something else. Hello, Amy. The team Master Alphino has placed himself squarely in the path of danger. As a fellow scion, I shall render whatever aid I can to ensure a safe return. Though he is built but half the size of my courageous brother, the team Alphino's bravery looms twice as large. Even Hori might hesitate before embarking alone into the heart of the Empire. At a certain point, you will also have to question if it's bravery or if it's stupidity. It has been an eventful few days, hasn't it? But I suppose all we can do now is wait for word from Alphino. I don't recall the last time I had nothing pressing to be getting on with. We should probably make the most of it. Shall I put on some tea? Tea would be lovely. You may regale me with the tale of your adventures in the Far East, and of your encounter with this new primal especially. I'll put the kettle on then. That table looks free if you'd like to take a seat. On sitting, several cutscenes, okay. It's a message you see fairly often. Interesting. So the Tsukiyomi was summoned in much the same manner as Susanoo, be it a medium of a sacred relic. That's right, they believe their gods, or kami, reside in physical objects. Given the dangers they represent, it may behoove us to begin a catalogue of such relics. If we are to contain the threat, we must require a better understanding of the summoning method itself. I believe I shall pay a visit to Doma and learn what I can on the subject. A fine idea, and I know for a fact that our friends in Doma will be grateful for any information which could help prevent further summoning in the region. I will pen you a letter of introduction. Lord Hien will wish to welcome our resident expert on aetherology. Greetings. Could it be that I am in time for tea? It certainly looks that way. Come on, sit down and tell us how your investigations went. I forget if the next part's voiced. I don't think so. After you left, I went about questioning Bloodhouse gravekeepers. They all told much the same story. Once Lisa and her officers had confirmed Xenos dead. His corpse was interred under strict supervision. There seems no reason to doubt their testimony on that point. When I mentioned the defacement of Xenos' grave, accounts grew rather more vague. None reported having seen any suspicious persons in the vicinity, and all assumed the act to have been perpetrated by a vengeful Alamegan. Crucially, however, I was able to confirm that when the offending scrawl was removed, as per Lisa's instruction, no one involved thought to check the contents of the coffin. By that stage, 'tis like the corpse was already missing. Assuming Xenos has not, in fact, risen from the dead, we are left with two possibilities. Either body was disposed of to lend credence to the claims of an extremely committed imposter, or an Ascian has taken up residence within it. If Asahi was as fervent a devotee as you believe, he would not have been fooled by an impersonation. However committed, we must assume that we are dealing with an Ascian and proceed accordingly. Agreed. The question is, how many more such monsters are waiting for Alphino in Garlemald? Their presence was his chief reason for going. He understood the risks. I only hope he did not underestimate the extent of the infestation. Oh, this is... Oh, I know what this part is. Meanwhile, the Imperial Hypersonic Assault Craft... 75? That's 75, right? L-XXV. Oh, it's 63. No, it is 75. Okay, I was right. It's mostly just my tracking while I'm reading, more than likely. That plus glasses. Master Alphino, we are making good speed towards our destination. It is aught to miss. Nay, 'tis just. I can see naught from my cabin, and was curious to know the land over which we flew. I'm afraid our military craft are built with little thought for niceties. I'm happy to indulge your curiosity, however. We're presently passing over the burn on the western edge of Offord. Even with the benefit of a porthole, your gaze would have been greeted with naught but mounds upon mounds of lifeless earth. I've read something of the burn. It was described as a desolate wasteland, bled dry of every last drop of ether. It is believed that a succession of icon summonings was responsible. When Emperor Solus first came to Offord and beheld this blight, he is said to have reeled at the scale of the devastation. He declared icons a threat to our very star's existence, and issued an empire-wide decree ordering the eradication of all such entities. Report. We're under attack, sir. Magitech armor, no visible designation. Magitech? But who? Oh. All cannons return fire. Damage report. The main reactor's been hit. Helm unresponsive. We're going down, sir. Damn it, they knew exactly where to hit us. All hands brace for impact. Glad to have you back, Master Alphino. We have landed in one piece, more or less. But the air filtration system is damaged, and the ship is filling with smoke. We must gather the survivors and get out while we still can. You'd think they would just carry them out, if that was the case. Aye, aye. Right, you would think that'd just be the logical conclusion. You just carry them out. But, you know. Sure, I guess. Coming battle, you'll fight as Alphino. What is this other ones? Prize shackle, deal up potency and puts bind on them. But thanks. I don't think I would have made it. The healers can use revive. Yes, you very likely saved his life. Question of who would try to take it remains, however. The prince. Reduces damage taken, okay. When does he become a scholar? Shadowbringers? Then he becomes a sage and Endwalker. Like, I don't know when he becomes a scholar. He's still an Arcanist here. Confound it. Not here. Not like this. I like saying we're confounded a fair bit. What? Who in the Emperor's name? Enemies of our enemies. Introductions can wait. You're calm in a crisis, Master Alphana. Let us finish this then. Wow. Pretty sure Alphana has had to deal with force at this point in his life. Not like this is the first time he's had to fight for his life. It's a Garlean special. Line X move. Whatever it's actually called. By the Emperor, that man is a fiend. Pause formation, deploy restraints. What's the point of just putting restraints without anyone to fight him? You're just trading him up top. Is this like... it's like a kink or something, or what? Oh, okay, let's just break one of them. Oh. Was I supposed to LB? I feel like I was supposed to LB somewhere. I feel like. My thanks. Your intervention proved most timely. Well, well. I did not think to meet an Eorzean in this place, let alone a Scion. You know of me, sir. I have some small history with your order. I wouldn't say small, but I would speak of the present. Know you your assailants, and the severity of your predicament. The soldiers bore the insignia of the Emperor's personal guard. And I can venture a guess as to their motive, but you yet have us at a disadvantage, sir. Will you not tell us who you are? Our names are not yours for the asking, and as for our purpose, let this be our answer. An Assyrian mask. The face of our prey. What is that emote even? Why is that emote so long? We must away before more arrive. Come with us or stay. We'll make your choice now. Even should we manage a long trek out of the burn and secure passage to the capital, we will no doubt be greeted by the Emperor's guard. Indeed, we accept your gracious offer. Shadow Hunter will suffice for the present. Come. Anyways. Ugh, this is intolerable. But as much as I wish it were otherwise, there is nothing we can do for Alphino now but pray for success. Well, that's not entirely true. While your brother's journeys to Garlemald from the east, I can make my way there from Alamigo and find out what there is to be learned in the Empire's western provinces. And I'm coming with you. I can't very well sit here sipping tea if there's action to be taken. Forgive me, Alize, but the provinces are hostile territory, and stealth is all important. It is safer that I go alone. I can sneak well enough when the situation demands it. Don't patronize me. We should leave this at Ingrid. He is a stealth person. Not you too. I understand your frustration, Alize, but Hikaru has a right of it. We must defer to Thancred's expertise in this matter. Fine, just promise you'll be careful. Alize and her brother bicker as all siblings do, but she worries for him nonetheless. It would be a kindness if you were to visit from time to time and distract her from her cares. I thought there's more to this. There's no way this is it, right? Well, I'd best put on my skulking boots. There's no room for mistakes once I've crossed the border from Alamigo. It would seem that praying is to be an extent of my contribution after all, but I will stay behind as I have been bid. We all have our talents. Mine just happen to involve a silver tongue and soft souls. I promise to send word the moment I learn aught of consequence. See that you notify me too. I mean to depart for Doma as soon as I find a suitable East Aldernard vessel to bear me thither, but I shall return if I am needed. Be sure to drop in whenever you're next in the area, Hikaru. With any luck, I'll have a painfully detailed report from Alphino to share. Is that really it? No way. Oh, I see. That was the whole patch cycle. I see. Now we're in the next patch cycle. I see, I see. Damn, that's a... Okay. Oh, Hikaru. If you come here hoping for news, I'm afraid there isn't any. Well, this is supposed to be 3 months past. Or 2.5, I think, back then. Everything exactly as it was. Ishtola is still investigating primals in the Far East. Thancred is still gathering intelligence in Imperial provinces. And Alphino is still out there somewhere. There's been no word since his first scheduled report. Nor does he respond to calls. All the while, I am just meant to sit around here waiting. It's driving me mad. Begging our pardons, I bear a message from the Eorzean Alliance. Thank the gods for that. We have a visitor. Welcome to the Rising Stones. If you have a message, I should be most eager to hear it. My lady, the Alliance leadership will soon convene to discuss the matter of Ascian interference. And they humbly request the presence of the signs of the Seventh Dawn. Having assessed intelligence provided by the Alamigan resistance concerning the whereabouts of Xenos' remains, they too suspect Ascian involvement, in which to deliberate a suitable course of action. As for the foremost authority on our foe, your orders council would be most welcome. Of course, we should be glad to assist in whatever way we can. With almost everyone else afield, I'd say this one falls to us. By which I mean, I'm not going on my own. You'll come with me, I trust. I'd rather not. The meetings. If you would rather not, how do you think I feel? I despise formal occasions, as you well know. In the absence of Alphino and the others, we'll just have to grin and bear it, won't we? Well, there you have it. We accept the invitation. I feel like I was forced into this. Thank you. The time and date of the meeting will be shared in due course, but I can confirm that the council will take place in Alamigo. By your leave. This is a forced meeting. I'm being kidnapped. I somehow doubt we'll have anything useful to offer, but standing mutely at a meeting would still be better than nothing I've been doing of late. Let's make ready to depart, shall we? Thancred, what's going on, man? Alright, just be careful on the road back, you hear? Did I hear that right, Real? Is Thancred coming back? Aye, that he is. This has acquired some important intelligence. Being in Garlean territory, though, he couldn't risk sharing the particulars in case the Imperials were listening in. So I said he'd head back as quickly as he could, to make sure someone was waiting for him in the Alamegan quarter. Understood. Hikaru and I will go. We're bound for Alamigo anyways, and there's sure to be time before the council begins. Come on, let's be off. There's no doubt to your talent for espionage, but the journey is long and the borders heavily guarded. You did well to make it back in one piece. You two are a sight for sore eyes. Now all I need is water for my parched throat. Fetch me a cup, will you? For appeasing through Imperial territory is thirsty work.
God, I needed that.
I won't bother telling you to catch your breath. Whatever brought you galloping back to us, I assume it's urgent.
Quite. Without further ado, then. After the successful uprisings in Doma and Alamigo, rebels in several other provinces were inspired to follow suit. Unfortunately, they did not fare quite so well.
Yeah, they didn't have a warrior of light. What'd you expect?
The Dalmascans paid the heaviest price. For their defiance, the Emperor made a show of razing their capital to the ground, prompting many of their neighbors to abandon thoughts of resistance. But not all have given up on liberty. Heartened by the news of Doma's prisoner exchange, some still believe that the Empire may one day be amenable to negotiation. We have the shinobi to thank for spreading the good word. They have worked tirelessly to keep the subjugated informed, and a little knowledge can go a long way.
There is at least a spark of hope, then.
A spark in want of kindling, yes. The Alliance has already begun supplying materiel to resistance movements abroad, many of whom would otherwise struggle to continue the fight. The support effort has been led by the Sultana and the Elder Seedseer, who have both seen enough Alamegan refugees to know the consequences of oppression. And for their troubles, they have quickly earned a reputation as folk heroes in certain corners of the Empire. That is all for the provinces. As for the Garlean motherland itself, our friends the Populares have suffered something of a setback, I regret to say. Talk is rife that Doma has summoned a primal, and the Empire's more liberal voices are being drowned out in the fearful clamor for retribution.
What do you mean? Totally a sprout. Don't see the
Who do
icon?
they think orchestrated this summoning?
Oh, any but those truly responsible. Xenos has seen to that. Speaking of whom, the Crown Prince is recovering remarkably well. Well enough, in fact, to enable him to personally tour the provinces, putting the fear of the Emperor into the hearts of any would-be dissidents.
He walks in plain sight, and none suspect him. Then it's as we feared.
Yes, an Ascian wears his skin. But it was not that which brought me here in such haste. During my time in the provinces, I learned many things. Yet at no point did I hear any report of a Doman emissary in the capital.
But Alphonse should have arrived by now. Could they be holding in there in secret?
The possibility did cross my mind, but I have reason to believe he never reached his destination. As you know, Scions assigned to covert operations, such as Riol and myself, are issued special link pearls for communication in the event of an emergency. I mention this because it was originally Alphino's task to coordinate the response at headquarters, meaning he has one. And whose voice should I hear when mine recently crackled to life?
You spoke with Alphino?
Spoke with? No. I but heard his voice, and none too clearly at that. 2 words were all I could make out. The burn.
The wasteland on the edge of Otherd. Something must have happened to them there. There's no time to waste. We must make for the burn at once.
2 words that put many people scared because they don't like that dungeon. Especially the final boss.
I had a feeling you might say that.
And? I can't very well sit around here drinking tea if Alphino's in trouble. You said yourself that this link pill was only to be used in emergencies. So I'm going, and that's the end of it.
Oh, far be it from me to change your minds.
I will leave the 2 of you to your task and see to my own. Loath though I am to neglect making preparations for the council, we must act swiftly before Alphino's trail goes cold. I propose we first pay Hian a visit. He's sure to want to hear about these developments. He may well be able to advise us how best to reach the burn. A sound plan. And Y'shtola is in the Doma, is she not? I dare say she'd join you in the search if you ask her nicely. While you see to all that, I shall go and report my findings to the Alliance. You may leave any preparations for the council to me. Thank you, Tancred. Right, Doma then. We have much and more to share with Y'shtola. That is curious indeed. While other matters demand my attention at present, I shall bear what you have told me in mind. Should you notice any change, do not hesitate to seek me out. Thank you, my lady. You are most kind. Why is there new music? So ominous. Well, well. 2 faces from the dim and distant past. Come now. It hasn't been that long. Who was it that you were speaking with? A local miner who supplies crystals for the rebuilding effort. Of late he claims to have struggled to find a crystal with so much a trace of elemental energy. Upon learning that I had some knowledge of Aether, he came seeking my counsel. Just now he brought me one of those recent finds. It was precisely as he described, devoid of elemental energy. and eerily reminiscent of the aspected crystals that manifested in Eorzea in the days prior to the calamity. It would be wise to investigate this phenomenon more closely. Indeed, on a more positive note, the locals seem to have taken a liking to you. More an interest in than a liking to, I think. The sight of a Mikote with a peculiar contraption upon her head has a certain novelty value in these parts. Any actual regards they may have for me, I owe wholly to you and the others who came before. Everyone here has been exceedingly cooperative, and I am pleased to report that I have all but concluded my investigation. Simply put, by focusing one's will upon an Aether-infused object of worship, it is possible to conduct a summoning. So the fact that they are objects of worship is the key. They are themselves suffused with the requisite belief. Correct. Such sacred relics as a Kojin collected obviate the need for religious fervor in the summoner. Yotsu being the most obvious example. She had but to associate the artifact given to her by Asahi with the divine, and it served to amplify her desires and give them form. A form nourished through the power of crystals, also provided by her brother. And thus was Tsukiyomi brought into being. Which brings me to the question of preventative measures, to which I have yet to find a satisfactory answer. At present, I know not that will avail us, save to keep watch over the movement of relics and crystals, as if we did not have enough to keep watch over already. But I doubt you came all this way to hear that which may be perused in a report, as something happened to Alphino. I shall join you in the search, of course. Thank you, Stola. I will be glad of your help, surely. Now, if there's nothing else, I shall go on ahead and request an audience with Lord Hien. Alisaie puts on a brave face, but she has little talent for concealment. We should join her at the Kien Khan. Kien Khan, maybe? I think. I don't know how to actually pronounce that, but Kien Khan sounds right. Kien sounds German rather than Japanese. I should not have allowed Master Alphino to leave on an escort, but avail us not to dwell on the past. We must focus on what can be done now. There you are. I've apprised Hien of the situation. The report can wait. Finding Alphino must take priority. Greetings, my friend. Alisaie has explained all to me. Needless to say, you shall have our full cooperation in the search, even if Alphino's trail does lead to the burn, of all places. Wow. They're all spell speed. Or skill speed, whatever. The region known as the Burn occupies a special place in Garlean history. Every child in the Empire is familiar with the tale. In the distant past, it was a verdant land teeming with life, but successive summonings saw it bled dry of aether and reduced to a desert. It was upon beholding this devastation that Primals had wrought. The Emperor Solus was spurred to embark upon his crusade against their Khan. But the burn offers a glimpse of a future we seek to prevent. No of you any reason why Alphino might have gone there. Aye, mischance. Though it lies on the route to Garlemald, is no place to make a stop. My guess is they encountered some manner of trouble there. In any event, I am in the same mind as Alisaie. We have no choice but to take our search to Burn. Given the considerable distance involved, 'tis best we went by bird. Hikaru and I have our yoles. Igiru, will you ready falcons for the others? I shall gather our swiftest birds. Near the House of the Fierce, there is an overlook. Pray join us there once you have seen to your preparations. Oh, the burn. I mean, like, personally, I don't find it that crazy. But I can understand why some people don't like this dungeon. Specifically more the casual players. I can see it being a bit more of a harder one. Coming pretty often though. Having named him an emissary of Doma, Lord Hien considers himself personally responsible for Alphinaud's safety. Naught I could say could sway him from joining the search. With such a steed to bear me to and fro, I could perform my field work in a fraction of the time. Mayhap I shall try my hand at this Bardam's medal. If everyone is here and possessed of a bird, let us away. Remember, our destination is a barren wasteland. There is no civilization to speak of for 100 moms in all directions. Take care you do not lose your way. The burn. We shall go in with trust. Samurai tank is so silly. I knew that would be the case, because they did Samurai Tank before with Gosetsu, but it's still silly. That third eye go crazy, I guess.
Make ready, friends! We are come to the burn!
I forgot how somber this set track is. Well, I suppose it's very fitting of this place. Land the void of life. The void of aether. That makes sense for it to be very somber. This is also a chat with partners, this OST. It could be crazy. Hey, I haven't been paying attention, but did they admit? Does he admit as a samurai? Or is he literally just there as an enemy bot? Well, surely he has admitted, right? No way. I also don't see it, so I'm actually curious. Speed time is also really awkward. It will just drift my flesh shade contra. I'm at really fast. 2.36 is extremely fast. That just like naturally drifts my contra and my flesh shade. Such an awkward GCD. That's why you never just max out with just homes as gear. They have such useless just stats in between them. Same with just all savage. How much useless stats in between them. Oh. I don't know what bursted that thing, but it wasn't me. Something just like nuked that little ad. I just realized we're double caster. We don't have fate. Playing is not what I need. I need casting stuff. Are these elegant? I never actually considered that they actually are elegant. This is gonna help you the next pack. Need to be asked. And still Midari's. That thing might just be good. Dude, he gets all the benefits of being a samurai, but still having tank sets. Come on, this has to be OP. Oh. I like Black Mage. I think it's interesting, but I wouldn't play it myself. Believe it or not, I don't actually like casting a lot. Well, I understand that's like the whole role of caster. I don't really like casting. So I don't really have much experience with caster, I guess. Until this tier. And I guess ultimate now. Before that, I almost never played caster. I particularly didn't like casting. I never particularly liked that part of caster. I can acknowledge Black Mage took a lot of skill back then. Unsure if that's still the case now, because I haven't really looked into it. You can still get it when it's not interesting. I thought you needed 60 for that, but you get it no matter what now. Huh. Interesting. Out of the DPS, I like melee the most, actually. But I just like playing DPS in general. So as long as I'm on that role, I don't really care which one it is anymore. Did Alice say prepare? Take forecast? All jobs feel the same. I mean, if you look at the grand scheme of things, sure. Every job does play around 2 minutes. Buff alignment like that. But in terms of the particulars, I don't agree with that statement. Like, even within roles, what you do as a bard and what you do as a dancer is different. Bard has less proc management. Or, I guess, procs to deal with. But instead, you have song management and thought management. I would say back in Endwalker, how you use your proc and dancer mattered. But now in Dawn Trail, it doesn't really matter. It's just gone to the point where you just use shiny button, because that's all you can fit in the first window. Back in Endwalker, it was still like a lot of it was still press shiny button, especially if shiny button was Saber. But there's the decisions you had to make near the end of your burst, depending on how much gauge you went into it and how much you built during your burst. But there's no such decisions to make anymore. Literally, your whole burst lasts pretty much 20 seconds. With what you have to get off. With the Talana changes to going up to 2.5, a 50 gauge bonus, and more than likely that you won't have 0 gauge when aside from your goddamn opener. There's no more decisions to make. Well, in terms of like every job being the same, I can see why you say that. Because, like, if you look down to their core, yeah, sure. You use burst at 2 minutes. You press your 1 rotation because there isn't much variation to it at all unless the fight dictates such. I think some things still have identity. I like Ninja's Mudras. I think that's a cool identity. Even if it's still just press trick attack at 2 minutes, cost 10 bajillion gauge at boss. You don't have a variation of your rotation at all. At most, you change where you put your PK if you have to use it for movement, or quote-unquote movement for melee is keeping uptime, having to leave boss. Or you change where you put ripe on, I guess. For the same reasons of needed for movements. If I can cleave with the little one, I can't cleave the big one. There's no way. But yeah. I mean, I didn't play it back when Bard had Flame Arrow. I started this game near the end of Shadowbringer's COVID patch extension. Like, I guess, was it 7 months before? Yeah, 7 months before Endwalker released is when I played this game. Or started this game. What the? That's messed up. Right when I was gonna press my 2 minutes.
Yeah.
Thanks since ARR. Wow. Yeah, I can see why you miss a lot of the complexities. Even in Shadowbringers, I thought jobs were a lot more complex. Personally. And the things I hear from my friends when they played all the way since Stormblood, it seemed really cool. But I can also see why the TP system was retired. Because in a sense it's cool, but like, fuck, yeah, man. Some jobs just lose TP and cap out TP for fun, even if you have an Astro. That does not seem like very fun. But I did like cross skills for jobs as a concept. But I can also see why that also had its own balance issues. Because you would just have certain comps that will never work. Because they can't use blunt resistance down or stabbing resistance down, etc. Stuff like that, I can see why. What I don't get is why they moved away from Shadowbringers. Well, I get why. Because they probably felt that the game was too hard for casuals. But like in the same sense, they don't care to... They don't care for any of these like 2 minutes alignment stuff. And as long as you tune casual content to a point where they can clear with everything being misaligned and not being used, I don't see a problem with having job complexity. Personally. Right now, I feel like there is no complexity behind these jobs anymore. It just comes down to like complexity of the fights right in the job. And even then, it just comes down to like, if you really wanted to, you could just do a very, very dummy rotation and probably get by almost every single fight, even in high-end fights. Honestly. I also actually never saw TV commercials for this game. First time I actually saw someone play this game was my teammate when I lived in a gaming house with them. I think Rubu was playing it, and I'm just like, interesting. It would have been 2018, so I believe this should have been the Ring Shadowbringers, I believe. I've seen the Japanese ones, the commercials. It's like basically an anime. But I thought those are kind of cool. But me myself, I actually haven't like seen them. I only saw them on YouTube. I haven't seen them like wherever you would see commercials nowadays. I guess Twitch has commercials too. So. This fog again? Oh, this was that edge one, huh? It's like through all over again. Fate breaker. Does it sword up or down? I don't know. Hey, achievement. Oh, he could have brought you Geary if he wanted to. Why didn't I do that? Why did I bring 2 red mages? Oh. I didn't even know that was an option. I guess I didn't even check. Well, it makes sense now that I think back on it. Interesting.
Between contending with bloodthirsty beasts and sand in my every conceivable place, I'm quite ready to leave this wasteland. But first things first. Do you see the crashed ship over yonder? Judging by its class, it must be the vessel that bore Master Alphinaud away.
War Machina. It would seem they were involved in a struggle.
I thought she's blind. How did she see that? I thought she only sees Aether. But like,
There may be clues. We should split up and search the area.
machines don't have Aether. How did she see that? Her blindness is like... It's so weird. It's like conveniently blind.
There's no sign of Alphinaud, nor of Maxima and his people.
These were no ordinary soldiers. Over here! The insignia on this man's uniform identifies him as one of the Emperor's personal guard. Hand-picked soldiers, answering only to the royal family.
That would explain why all the casualties are Garlean. They were fighting their own.
You're saying the Emperor was behind all this? That Alphinaud is his prisoner?
Alphinaud's fine, I'm sure of it.
Aye, we must not jump to conclusions. Besides, Alphinaud is more than capable of looking after himself, is he not?
I suggest we return to Doma to consider our options. Whatever happened here, Master Alphinaud is long gone, and any subsequent search may safely be left in the hands of the shinobi.
Where in the world are you, brother? If you die on me, I will never let you hear the end of it.
Forgive me, I need a moment. On present evidence, we have no reason to fear the worst. More than that, I cannot say. We're no closer to establishing Master Alphino's whereabouts, and the suggestion of an Imperial plot only compounds matters. We have much to consider. Well, that was a decidedly uneventful journey. I almost found myself hoping for a sandstorm. Joking aside, I'd say our birds are due a good brush down and a treat or two, wouldn't you? I had hoped to steal a moment's rest after our little outing. It would seem duty calls. A foreign emissary arrived in my absence. Not let us keep you then. Actually, I was wondering if you might join me. I can't think of a guest who could fail to be impressed by the presence of scions. At least, none I should be happy to receive. Of course, if you think it will be useful. Thank you. Let's return to my manor then. I don't remember who's the emissary. Who is the emissary? I don't remember. I guess we'll see. Oh, is it the Colgin? Oh, it's Lise. Never mind.
Reese, what brings you here?
Oh, Alliance business. We have a request for Doma. Well, Hian. But that can wait. They told me you were out searching for Alphino. Did you manage to pick up his trail? Well, if he wasn't at the crash site, he might still have escaped. We have to keep searching.
And we will. Alphino embarked on this journey as an emissary of Dorma, and I hold myself responsible for his safe return. I will have our shinobi in the provinces search for him as a matter of urgency. Chin up, Alize. You'll get to admonish your brother for his recklessness yet.
Well, someone has to do it.
I'm sure he's going to be fine. There is one thing I'm not sure about, though. You said it was the Emperor's personal guard that attacked Alphino's airship. But the Popularis would never have been able to arrange the prisoner exchange without Varus's blessing. So why would he sabotage his own mission?
They may not have been acting on Varus's orders. The guard answer not only to him, but to his family, the Crown Prince included.
When Yotsuyu summoned Tsukuyomi, Asahi was quick to proclaim that a Dorman citizen had violated the terms of our agreement, that the negotiations had failed. And it is this version of events that is now being repeated across Garlemald. To hear the tale, one would think the prisoner exchange never took place. Plainly, someone is manipulating matters from the shadows. Most likely Xenos, or whoever it is that wears his face.
Whichever Ascian you mean. We all know the nature of our adversary.
The servants of chaos are true to their name. Their meddling has cost Dorma a chance at peace. Whoever it was that loosed his personal guard, the Emperor cannot be ignorant of these developments. We must proceed on the assumption that our treaty is indeed in tatters. But come, Lise. You have journeyed far. Let me hear your petition.
Right. So the big news is that Alamigo has agreed to join the Eorzean Alliance. To make it official and discuss where we all go from here, the leaders of the 5 nations are planning to hold a meeting, and we were hoping you might come too. We've already seen what we can achieve when we work together, and the Alliance hopes to work even more closely in future. They think it's our best hope of keeping the Garleans in check, and I agree.
As do I. By coordinating our efforts in the east and west, we may be able to discourage them from committing their forces to a single front. I accept your invitation. I must, however, ask for time to attend to some pressing matters here. In light of recent events, the risk of Imperial reprisals is greater than ever, and I would not leave Dorma unguarded. Ere I depart, I must shore up her defenses.
Understood. I'll let the Alliance know. We'll wait to hear from you before setting a date. The meeting's to be held at the Royal Palace in Alamigo, incidentally. Do you remember the way?
Well enough. Please assure my hosts that I will not keep them waiting any longer than I have to.
Consider it done. And thank you for agreeing to come. If we all put our heads together, we're sure to find the best way forward. For everyone.
Hopefully we're not forcing this meeting. We probably are. We always are. Well, we are happy to cooperate with the Eorzean Alliance. There are many things that Doma must do alone. Yugiri assures me the task of searching is best left to her comrades. I shall trust to their experience and focus on what I can do. Also, be right back real quick. Okay. That the Alliance would extend an invitation to Doma bespeaks the depth of their concern. Nor are they misguided. If Garlemald has fallen under Ascian control, the threat we face is incalculable. Don't worry, Alphinaud's been through countless trials and come out stronger every time. He'll be back, I'm sure of it. My advisors and I will presently convene to discuss the matter of Doma's defenses. You are welcome to stay, of course. Had you not offered, I would have requested leave to remain. Where the Ascians are concerned, naught may be left to chance. As ever, we will benefit from your experience. I thank you for coming, Luis, even if I was on official business. I had hoped there might be some time to show you the land you helped to save, but I will settle for a fleeting visit if needs must. There never does seem to be enough time for anything, does there? But I did get to see little of the Enclave. You made excellent progress, I must say. And soon you'll have the chance to see how we're getting on too. At a meeting then. Hikaru, I was wondering if I might have a word with you before I go. In private. Go on, my friend. I will send for Hakuro and the others in the meantime. Great. I'll wait for you at the docks. Where's my red mage dash? Thanks for coming. Knowing you, you've probably guessed what I want to talk about. Alize. She's acting as if everything's alright, but it's clear she's barely coping. The Alize I know is overbearing, willful, and reckless, and that's fine. It's how she deals with feeling weak. She has to keep moving, or she's afraid she'll fall apart. A lot like me. But the thing about people like us is that we need someone to keep an eye on. I have Papilino, and now I have my friends in the Resistance. And Alice has you and the Scions. Before you start, I'm not saying you're neglecting her. I'm sure you aren't, and I'm sure you won't. But she's a good friend, and when I see her like this, I can't help worrying. So please, make sure you give her all the support she needs, alright? You've nothing to worry about, seriously. Thank you, Hikaru. It goes without saying, but if there's anything I can do, you only need to ask. Well, I'd best be off. See you in Alamigo. How come no one else teleports? Why am I the only one that uses teleport? It's not like they can't use Aetherites. Oh, Thancred can. But like, we should be able to. And they should be able to. In fact, we do teleport. Ah, there you are, my friend. Everyone has assembled, so let us begin. Oh, great, another meeting. I'm back to work. It's meeting after meeting.
If we are to ready ourselves for invasion, we shall need manpower, provisions, and time, all of which are in notably short supply.
Candid as ever, you giddy. And correct, I concede. Fortunately, I have an idea. 'Tis plain no single nation can stand against the might of the Empire. And it was only with the aid of others that Dorma succeeded in winning her freedom. So, I mean to take a leaf out of our Eorzean friends' book and form an alliance of our own. In addition to those with whom we already share an understanding, I would reach out to Hingashi and Suinosato, and further afield to the myriad peoples of Nangsha and Dalmasca. I am under no illusion. Not all will answer the call. Yet disparate though we may be, we are united in our desire for freedom. If our neighbors could be made to see what is at stake, Asian machinations and all, cooperation need not be so far-fetched a notion.
It may even seem practical. Under the guidance of our former leader, Master Louis Soir, we once strove to unite the fractious city-states of Eorzea. I dare say that experience shall be of use in your endeavor.
We should be glad of your wisdom.
For the record, I would have been in favor of this plan even if it hadn't been my grandfather's, but I have to ask, how will we secure the time to carry it out? Not that anyone has forgotten, but the Garleans have airships. Lots and lots of airships. Should they catch wind of our plan, they could send an armada to overwhelm us before our alliance had even begun to take shape.
Not if we deny them access to the skies. During our time in the Burn, the Warrior of Light and I chanced upon some Allagan ruins.
Oh?
As such ruins go, they were not particularly unusual, but something about the surrounding land struck me as odd. Faint though it was, its ethereal residue was uncannily similar to that of Aziz La. Identical, in fact. For locations so far removed to share a single etheric signature is all but impossible. I conclude, therefore, that the Allagans created the floating continent with land taken from the Burn.
While that is a most intriguing theory, I fail to see what relevance it has to Dorma's defense.
Aziz La was enclosed in a powerful energy barrier, impenetrable even to an Agrius-class battleship. It occurred to me that those ruins may have enjoyed similar protection. I have no proof, but the Warrior of Light did report seeing a structure resembling other known Allagan field generators.
All right. But even if we could put up such an energy barrier, it surely wouldn't extend beyond the limits of the Burn. So what's to stop the Garleans flying around it?
Fuel. The Dalmascan capital, Rabanasta, was a key Imperial refueling point in the east. By laying waste to it as a lesson to the rest, the Empire greatly hindered its own operations in the region. If an Imperial fleet were to advance upon Dorma, it would now have little choice but to travel, as the crow flies, over the Burn.
I see.
A word of caution. Even assuming the generator still functions, raising a barrier of such a scale will require a prodigious amount of energy. And few places are so bereft of suitable crystals as the Burn.
A source of energy. Tell me, did the Allagans make a habit of launching things into the sky?
A curious question. Besides Aziz La, I know of only one other notable instance. The Red Moon Dalamud. whose fall triggered the calamity.
Just the 2 occasions, you say? Then I believe I may have a solution to our energy problem.
You do?
I may. To find out for sure, we would need to visit the Azim Steppe. Which would, I now see, present the perfect opportunity to discuss an alliance with the Zayla tribes. How very neat. What say you then? Shall we see whether this road leads?
I mean, that should only come down to convincing the Han, right? They work as whoever wants them. Oh my gosh, what is it called? Not the medal. The fight. I forget what it's called. It is settled then. I will journey to the Azim Steppe with the Scions. Yugiri and Hakuro. I leave our other neighbors to you. My apologies, but I won't be joining you. I am no astrologist, and what skills I do possess are unlikely to be any great use to the mission. More importantly, it seems to me that the ruins and the burn warrant attention. And so while you are away securing an energy source, I will be engaging our friends at Garland Ironworks to undertake a complete overhaul of the field generators. We'll need them in good working order if our plan is to succeed. I trust there are no objections. Have care in the burn. Have care on the steppe. From what I hear, the Zayla like fighting with friends almost as much as foes. The duck. Just the 3 of us then. Very well. Shall we make first for reunion? What the heck was it called? That fight that they did. The crown who became Han. It's a fine feeling to be back. Were it not for our mission, I would like nothing more than to lie on the grass and watch the clouds float by. So this is the Azim Steppe. The tales do not do it justice. If you think this view is impressive, wait until we reach higher ground. Actually, seeing as your first visit, permit me to show you my favorite spot.
I will never tire of this vista. The endless fields, the boundless skies. 'Tis a sight to make a man forget his cares.
But not his purpose, I trust. Might this be a fitting moment to tell us what we are doing here?
Of course. During my time with the mole, I learned some few myths of this land. One goes thus. In the distant past, when all seemed doomed, a wayfaring soul came unto the steppe. Venturing into the northern crag, he received of Nama a sliver of her essence, a shard of the shining moon, and with it clove the tainted land from the earth. The end thus averted, to these fields did the wayfaring soul return, and venturing once more into the northern crag, he buried the shard, and made unto the heavens an offering of blood.
A tainted land cloven from the earth and an offering of blood to the heavens. Azizlar and Dalamud.
That was my thinking, yes.
And you believe that yonder mountains hide an artifact possessed of sufficient power to raise Azizlar up to the heavens? I suppose that might suffice.
Worth a closer look, would you say?
I would.
An intriguing myth, though I wonder how Nama came to be woven into it. An elegant hand, perhaps. From here, we shall travel to Mol Ilo. There we may ask Sirena about the particulars of the myth, and raise the matter of an alliance with the rulers of the steppe. Oops. Put that auto run off. Or on. Is this place just mountains? It's in the distance. Not really in the steppe itself. The steppe itself is pretty flat. So this is Sirena. Lise told me something of the woman, but I did not think that we would ever have an occasion to meet. Tell me, do you notice anything different about the mole? How they carry themselves? That, my friend, is pride. I do believe that their victory in the Nadam, right, it's called the Nadam, meant more to them than I realized. Strange. Amidst the radiance of your being, I sense a shadow. I pray it is but my imagination. Shadow? What that's supposed to mean? Ian, Hikaru, I'm glad of your visit and the opportunity to welcome a new friend. How may we serve you? There's a matter I would discuss with the mole. It concerns not only the peoples of the steppe, but of every land in the Far East. A shard of the shining moon left behind by a wayfaring soul, and you need this to protect our lands. I do. My friends and I wish to find the shard and ascertain the extent of its power. Will you tell me more of the place where it lies buried? This northern crag. If that is your wish. In the mountains to the north, there is a cavern called the House of the Crooked Coin. Inside this cavern are pillars of stone that legend holds to be the source of Nama's power. There, I believe you will find what you seek. Ah yes, I know the place. There's a brisk walk from here. And what are your thoughts on an alliance? Should the Empire return, our lands will be engulfed in a storm of conflict. Whether we will it or no, if we do not stand together, we will fall apart. This I believe with all my heart. However, among the tribes of the steppe, there are those who revere Nama above all else. To them, the pillars are sacred, and not to be disturbed. Should you proceed as you propose, such tribes are like to spurn an alliance, prompting others to follow their example. That is my concern. But it is by no means certain that the pillars will provide the power you seek. Ere you risk the ire of the followers of Nama, might not you first visit the House of the Crooked Coin? If all is you hope, we may then consider how best to earn their blessing. I thank you for your counsel. We will do as you suggest. I have no desire to give offense to those with whom I will join hands. Thank you for your understanding. Though the mole may reign over the steppe today, this decision will shape the days to come. It will not force others into war against their will. Nor we. 100-fold stronger are they who choose to fight of their own accord. Very true. It seems the time has come to put my skills to use. Pray lead the way to the House of the Crooked Coin. I'll have to start using this bike whenever we get to the new dungeon. It isn't too far from where I'm at. Oh, like 1 or 2 patch cycles left. Well, it certainly looks powerful, but powerful enough. That you'll have to ask the expert.
Such an abundance of ether.
Are we in luck?
We are. This is an Allegan artifact, most likely built to regulate the flow of ether. I strongly suspect the ancients used it to stem the flow from here to the burn. That would explain how they were able to untether what became Azys La from its surroundings. But were we to throw open the floodgates, the resultant deluge would surely be sufficient to raise our wall. And in restoring the flow, we may also restore life to the wasteland.
What is it?
While the device itself harbors a surfeit of ether, the opposite is true of the surrounding area. An effect of regulation, perhaps. A similar phenomenon seemed to be occurring in Doma. Whatever the explanation, the answer will not reveal itself here. We have seen what we needed to see. Let us return to Mol Ilo.
Second time she's noticed that Aether in Doma has started to wane. Was dismissed, but the second time. That such an abundant source of Aether should lie undisturbed for millennia. It is a miracle made possible by the steppes' long history of isolation. Well, it looks like I was right about the pillars. And all we need is permission to use them. You found that which you seek then. Great. Indeed is the Dusk Mother's power. If not, less will suffice to protect our lands. The blessing of other tribes must now be sought. Of course, but to which tribe should we appeal? There are many who worship Nama, but none are so fervent in the faith as the Dortal. Their consent shall be the key. The Dortal least spoke of them. A warlike tribe possessed of unique customs and beliefs. I sense their cooperation will not be easily won. Nay, but it will be a well worth the effort. The Dortal fear nothing, death least of all, and our alliance will be greatly strengthened by their presence. Let's go to Dortal Ka and speak with their Khatun, Sadhu. I find Sirena so adorable. Sirena has always been like a little cheerful one. Very adorable. Despite her fondness for battle, Sadhu is an astute leader. We played our case in earnest, so I'm certain she can be persuaded. Great faith gives rise to great strength, for better or for worse. Whatever it is that Dortal holds sacred, we would do well to accord it all respect. You again. Other matters demand our time on, unless it is a battle you seek. Alas not. Quite the opposite, in fact. Talking, always talking. You say the pillars hold great power. Of course they do. They are the source of Nama's strength. To the Dortal, no place is more sacred, and we will make ash of any who will defile it. Though I see this is not your wish. You see the wisdom of our proposition, then. You will join hands with us. I said nothing of joining hands. You wish to wield Nama's power to defend these lands, and this I will allow. But for leaving the steppe to fight the men in iron, I would have something in return. Namely battle with you, Han. The Nadam ended ere it began. I would face you again, alone, without distractions. Defeat me, prove yourself the stronger, and you shall have the Dortal as your allies. Surely these are agreeable terms. Well, this is, not wholly unexpected turn of events, but I'd assumed I would be the one required to fight. Alas, the Khatun had made her choice. Shall we dance? It shall be a battle of the steppe, shall not soon forget. Already my soul burns brighter. Prepare yourself, Han, and await me outside the Ka. I will gather my witnesses and join you anon. Why are you still here? Go, wait for me outside the car and I will join you soon enough. Okay, I guess. I don't know what she says if I says I'd rather not. I'm curious. Try as I might, I fail to see the logic in this arrangement. I can but conclude there is none. When I was little, I would stride up to Gosetsu, wooden sword in hand, and challenge him. To his great credit, he never held back, and I had many a bump and bruise to show for it. That's kind of funny.
Yes! This spot shall serve as well as any. I shall enjoy this Hahn.
Is this truly necessary? Have you no peaceable way of making decisions?
Speak not of peace. You stand before proud warriors of the Dathal. In the heat of battle do our souls burn brightest. We lay low the strong that we may rise higher. That is our way. The way of might. There is no other.
Oh, they do not want for conviction.
Indeed. It's what makes them such dangerous enemies. And such useful allies.
Enough talk! It is time to fight!
Enough talk is right.
Do our souls sing! In death do our souls sing!
Yo, why does she talk so... Hey, I thought this was supposed to be a 1v1. I guess our machinations don't count.
In death do our souls sing!
Oh, she's dead. Right shit, 10 stock. What did damage her? I don't even know what did damage her.
Yes! Yes! Not since the Nardum has my soul burned so! Come! We have only just begun!
Enough! You were not granted leave to set the steppe ablaze.
Well, well, the sun has come out to play.
Be gone, Moonstruck Oronir! I am busy!
Fool of a Dothal! Have you forgotten the face of your master already? The sun will never set! From his seat on high, he reigns over all, now and forever. Yet what should he find here but a battle to determine the fate of the steppe? A battle waged without his blessing. This will not stand. You, Doman! You who come to petition the warriors of this land, forget that all Nama's children are wards of the Oronir. As first among my brothers, your petition is mine alone to judge.
How does he know about our petition to begin with? We never talked to him.
These words are as wind from a horse's backside. Plentiful, but your axe sings more sweetly. Let her speak for you.
Insolent child, you will learn your place!
Forgive me, Brother Magnai, but we have an arrangement with the Dothal. We will not abide any interruptions.
So be it. The sun will pass judgment on all. Didakul, join me.
The sun is in good company. We may dance alone.
Beg not for mercy, for you will have none. Bear witness to the power and the glory of Azim!
Constantly at each other's throats like rabid dogs. Gods, I'm turning into her. I have not the patience for this. But if we must fight, let us at least be brief. Come.
What's up, Sushi? Yeah, what does your Stola have? She has stone. I don't know what else she has. What else do you have? Okay. Here too. An arrow. Okay. Sure. A lot of stone. $18? Yeah, it is 18 seconds.
Kneel or die!
Oh.
Bow down
before me!
Yo, is he not gonna run it? Okay, sure.
Heal or die! Heal or die!
So this is not a cast bar.
Heal or die!
Hopefully he lives. I think he will.
Bow down before me!
Mark well and learn.
Heal or die! Bow down before me! Tremble before the sun!
Well,
Let us be about it.
QT.
To me! How about you?
That was just Stone Simulator. Quite literally. I threw rocks the whole time.
Never have I felt such bliss in defeat. 'Twas a battle to burn soul and flesh to ash. We Dothal will lend you our strength as promised. Narma's power is yours to wield. What does the sun say to that?
The sun is not driven by base motives such as yours. But they have been judged and found worthy.
It is the way of the Oranir to accord recognition and respect to the strong. You have made sufficient proof of your strength. The sun shall answer your call.
You have our thanks. We are glad to call you allies.
You? By what are you called?
Y'shtola, why?
Are you...
Such a dry response.
Are you my Nama?
I beg your pardon?
In battle, you shone with all the majesty of the full moon's light. Your healing touch, the embodiment of the Dusk Mother's love. Long had I wondered if my Nama might not be a woman of the steppe. Beholding you, I am all but certain. Now, look into my eyes. Could it be? Could you be?
I am. Not interested, little son. Try again when you've become a man.
Oh, I love that line.
Little?
Uh, dude, that's a line I will like never forget. That's such a good line.
Little son! Little son! Does it pain you, little son? Crave you salve to soothe the ache? Fire to sear the wound in your heart?
We have wasted enough time here. Siren awaits for word of our success.
Uh, I did a few cutscenes that's like so memorable. I can never forget it. Uh, funny. Offended? Not in the least. I am no stranger to clumsy propositions. And that, believe it or not, was far from the worst I've heard. Magnai's unannounced appearance had me worried for a moment, but it was not his day to shine. Still, I cannot fault the man's bravery. He had not only to contend with Sadu, but Magnai too. Such a fierce battle that must have been. Yet here you stand, triumphant. Having passed such a test, they cannot well deny you their allegiance. The mole will make no such demands. Weak though we are, we will gladly stand with you. The steppe is our home, and we will defend it with all our being. Yet my heartfelt thanks. Of all the tribes of the steppe, there is none I would rather have on my side. God's willing, many more will rally to our cause. I shall send you word when we have answers from all the tribes. I cannot thank you enough, Serena. None of this would have been possible without you. We have the requisite consent. Time to put this anomalous power to use. If the Aether flows as planned, all that remains is to have the Ironworks engineer do their work at the ruins. Come, let's return to the House of the Crooked Coin. I'm getting to the point where I'm kind of sticky. Though we should probably finish this patch cycle, I guess? I want to call that. I will not have the first idea how to awaken such a contraption, let alone control it. But then, I'm not an Archon of Charlian. I shall begin at once. He may wish to step back.
Did it work?
It did. Ether may flow freely to the burn once more.
I don't even could question how she knows how to do that. But you know what? Good job. To manipulate Aether in such vast quantities is draining, to say the least. I should take it slowly for a while. I do not pretend to understand what you did, Ishtola, but you did it. Trust me, me too. Thanks to you, and Hikaru of course, we have taken a momentous step towards securing our defenses. Now, as much as I believe our rest is in order, we should probably make haste back to the Enclave. Agreed. The others may have already returned from their missions, and I'll know how things stand. As would I. Without further ado then. My lord informs me you are instrumental to the success of his mission to the Ism Steppe. Though we hope to make many more allies, we could wish for no better than you and your fellow Scions. Each of the factions lent an ear to our petition. As anticipated, however, many were unwilling to do any more than that. Everyone has returned. Excellent. Time to take stock. It would seem we are the last to arrive. Judging by your triumphant expression, I take it all went well on the Ism Steppe. Indeed, we have secured a suitable source of energy for the barrier. Good. The tower and I have commissioned Garland Ironworks to ensure that the field generators function as they should. A team of engineers stand ready to set out for the burn at a moment's notice. You need only say the word. I thank you for engaging their services on our behalf. The minutiae of the arrangement you may leave to me. Which just leaves a small matter of our alliance. So, Yugiri and Hakuro, how fared you with our neighbors? My lord, all the factions we approached are in agreement that the Empire pose a threat, and many responded positively to a token of an alliance. From Hingashi and Sui no Sato, however, we received outright rejections. The former will not break its treaty with the Empire, and the latter will not involve itself into conflict. Just as we expected then. Well, there is not to be done about it. We must focus on the rest. To each of the nations that we're amenable to an alliance, I will personally send a missive. And once I've attended to that, I believe we will have done everything we can to fortify Doma's defenses. For the time being, at least. All of which means I may leave for the meeting in Alamigo with a lighter heart. Yugiri Hakuro, if you would be so kind to hold the fort in my absence. My friends, we could not have achieved so much in so little time without your help. For that, I give you my heartfelt thanks. Till the meeting then. I took the liberty of asking Thancred to attend as well. He should have arrived in Alamigan Quarter by now. Then let's not keep him waiting, shall we? I think after this I'll stop, because I am getting tired. Let's hope that the coming meeting passes more peacefully than the last such gathering in Alamigo. It occurs to me this will be the first time I meet the leaders of the Alliance in an official capacity. More stiff greetings, pleasantries, formalities. Does that sound about right? More or less. Ishola has told me all, and I duly told Orionje and Kryle. Kryle in particular was concerned about Alphino, but I assured her that everything that can be done is being done. She agreed to continue with her own task for the time being on the condition that I contact her the moment there is any development. That leaves the four of us to attend the council. Arnvald is here to assist with security. Incidentally, though the poor lad seems altogether too distracted for the task. Another one missing Alphino, I expect. But it's almost time. As soon as you are ready, present yourself to the guardsmen and at the palace entrance. I shan't be far behind. The signs of the 7th dawn. Welcome to Alamigo. The Alliance leaders have already arrived. May I show you to the meeting chamber? Several cutscenes. Sure.
Mistress Lys, Commander Aldin, it gives me great pleasure to formally welcome the city-state of Alamigo to the Eorzean Alliance.
The pleasure is ours, Your Grace. I know I speak for all Alamegans when I say that we are glad of this chance to stand with our comrades of the Alliance.
And we for our part are glad indeed to be able to welcome friends both old and new.
Lord Hien of Doma, at your service. Pray, accept my heartfelt thanks for your generous invitation.
Nay, 'tis we who must thank you for journeying so far. And 'twould be remiss of me not to acknowledge the part the Scions of the Seventh Dawn have played in bringing all of us together. In times of great unrest, you and yours have been our constant companions, without whom we would not be here.
With apologies to Lord Hien and Mistress Alize, it occurs to me that we have not gathered in this way since that fateful day in Uldar.
The day I lost my arm and my freedom. As I lay in my cell, never did I dream that I would one day be given the chance to represent my homeland at this council. I would not even be alive had you not plucked me from the jaws of death. You, Yugiri, and Alphino. Would that the lad could be with us.
I too owe my presence here to Alphino, in so many ways. Until such time as he returns, I mean to carry on his good work as best I can.
Why do you talk about him like he's dead? He's not dead yet. No matter how much trying to get rid of him. He ain't dead.
Come, friends. Let us leave the past in the past and turn our eyes to the future. My Lord Hien, pray, tell us how things stand in the East.
Having heard the rumors of dissent in Garlemald, I dared to dream of a peaceable solution.
The Empire will not so easily change its ways. If the Garleans have a mind to take back Doma and Alamigo, we'll be hard-pressed to stop them, even with the might of 6 nations. But while we lack the strength to fight the tide, a course may yet present itself, if we read the winds aright.
The winds suggest but one course to me. One which leads from the sea unto the river and thence to the source of all our woes.
The Ascians.
Indeed. All here have felt their blighted touch. It was the bringers of chaos who nurtured the Archbishop's tyrannical ambitions. They who bestowed upon him the secrets of summoning, as they have so many others before and since. And while they remain, we shall know no peace.
Our objective is clear. The question is how to achieve it. That our enemy parades about in Xenos' skin poses problems in itself, but ere we get to them, how are we to infiltrate the Empire and get close enough to strike?
While I see the wisdom in targeting the Ascians, an assassination attempt on Garlean soil would do little to aid our cause, even were it to succeed. It's time we used our enemy's preferred tactic: subterfuge.
You have an idea? Speak your mind, Master Thancred. None here know the enemy better than the Scions, and you mayhap best of all. Whatever it is you propose, we will give it fair hearing. On that you have my word.
Very well, Admiral. My proposal is thus. We dispatch the shinobi to Imperial territory. There, they sow the rumor that the Crown Prince perished in the battle for Alamigo, and that the man parading around is in fact a corpse inhabited by a servant of darkness.
Well, it does have the ring of truth about it. And were the Garleans to learn that their future ruler is a puppet, the Empire would be shaken to the core.
But at the risk of sounding stupid, would they actually believe such an unlikely story? I didn't.
Ordinarily not. But prior to his miraculous recovery, rumors of Xenos' death had already begun to circulate around the Empire. Ultimately, however, what the masses believe is not our chief concern. Our true objective is to create an opening for rival factions within Garlemald to exploit.
Just as a war of succession erupted in the wake of Emperor Solus's death.
A war which raged until but recently, plunging the Imperial House into disarray as nephew and uncle grappled for the throne. It is no coincidence that one of Varus's first acts as Emperor was to name Xenos heir apparent, family feuds being so tiresome when armies are involved. Not all welcomed his choice of successor, however. There is no shortage of individuals who aspire to the throne, who would jump at any chance to seize power. The news that Xenos is not only dead, but a puppet to diabolical forces would be too enticing to ignore.
The Empire would not be quick to recover from a second war of succession.
I am no stranger to infiltrating Imperial territory. With a team of operatives gathered from among the Alliance's finest, the plan should have a reasonable chance of success.
Dorma already has shinobi in place throughout the provinces. We stand ready to act, and act we must. What say you all?
I'm for Master Thancred's proposal. We shine a light upon the Ascian and test the Empire's unity. 'Twas his plot that scuttled Doma's negotiations, was it not? Why then, if we can eliminate him, there may yet be a chance for peace. Let us wage this war of subterfuge, that we may one day lay down our arms. Gods know we never will while the Ascians remain.
History must be changed.
Who is this?
Ahead looms a calamity. Ahead looms light, expunging all form and life. Twin dooms only you can forestall. Only you.
What's the matter?
There's a voice!
Spies in our midst?
Nay, I sense no such presence.
Let expanse contract. Eon become instant. Throw wide the gates that we may pass.
Is it over?
Master Thancred!
12 for Fend. Bear him to a private chamber. Have every healer make ready. Swiftly!
Master Thancred remains in slumber. Though his vital signs appear stable, he's unresponsive.
What could have done this? And why just him and not the others?
I'm afraid we could not identify the cause, my lady. Our examinations revealed no wounds, nor the presence of any poisonous substances.
Gods, that only makes it worse. You're to let us know the moment there's any change, all right?
Thank you for coming. Knowing Thancred, he would apologize for being otherwise engaged at so crucial a juncture.
In gifting us a course of action, Thancred sowed the seed of all that is to follow. We have but to nurture it as best we can. To him, I would say, rest easy, that he may wake to enjoy the fruits of our labors. Now, the matter of the mysterious voice must not be forgotten. Will you tell me exactly what happened?
Alize and I heard a voice in the moments before Thancred collapsed. It was accompanied by a severe headache, as if something were clutching at our minds. Did you experience the same thing?
So, in between the voice and the pain, you felt as if you were somewhere else entirely.
Your testimony confirms my suspicion. That which you experienced was, I believe, your soul being plucked from your flesh. Called.
Called?
I myself examined Thancred. Reach out as I may, I could not sense in him the spark of life that is his soul. That Thancred alone was stricken so is likely due to his heightened sensitivity to the effects of ether, a consequence of his prior possession by the Ascian La Habrea. The owner of the voice, whoever it may be, reached out to you, called your souls, and in so doing, caused you and yours such pain.
But if that's true, where exactly are we being called to?
I know not. Yet one thing is plain. Whoever waits for you on the other side is possessed of a power unlike any I have ever known.
Forgive us, Lys, but may we leave Thancred in your care for a time?
As if you had to ask. I may not be a scion anymore, but I'm no less a friend. Don't worry. I'll see to it that Thancred's well looked after. Just focus on solving this mystery, all right?
Thank you, Lys. As the Elder Seedseer says, 'tis no ordinary individual we are dealing with. Nor can we discount the possibility of Ascian involvement.
Whoever or whatever is behind this, the sooner we find out, the better.
No. I have many questions about what happened with this, knowing what happens in the future, but I guess I can't really ask those questions right now. That's some spoiler territory. Never have I encountered such a phenomenon. If this is magic, it is beyond my ken. Don't worry about Thancred. I'll send word as soon as there's any change. The Ascians are indeed responsible. We must take steps to protect ourselves, though I know not how. I tried to call Orion on his link pro. He didn't respond, but I dare to hope he possesses some knowledge we do not. Ah, Orion J. Something happened during the meeting. Thancred's collapsed. Disembodied voice suddenly started. What? But that's... We should talk about this in person. Alright, we'll meet you there. That was Orion J. He heard the voice too. In Thanalan? As we alone were afflicted at the meeting, I had my suspicions. But if the voice also spoke to Orion J, there can be little doubt. The signs were targeted specifically. By whom and to what end is a question, one to which we must find an answer with all possible haste. Alrighty, I am sleepy. So we'll continue this at a different time. Anywho. I forgot like how eerie they set up Shadowbringers. Cause this like whole thing is unlike anything we have ever experienced before. Up until the story anyways. Like also it's like barring on a line of paranormal. And this is a world of magic essentially. I forgot like how off-putting it was. But anywho. We shall continue this another day. Thank you for watching and thank you for sticking around. Hope you have a good rest of your day or night, wherever you are. Take care. Bye bye.